ẹni tí ò bá ní irú ẹni kò lè mọ iye ẹni. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ ètò ẹ̀kọ́ pé is not good enough in this administration. It's because governor ò ní ẹ̀kọ́ tó yanrantí.
All right, welcome back to another section on the Free Flow podcast brought to you by RK Records. My name is MJ, your host. You know how we all do it. And today, we're going to be discussing something that is very, 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 very important, a very top matter as far as Osun State is concerned. And very, very soon, in the month of August, we are going to be picking yet another governor in Osun State. It's either we have a new governor entirely or the governor that is the sitting governor continues for his second term. So today we'll be discussing why should voters choose AMBO over Adeleke. And I have here someone who's going to be helping me discuss that today. So joining me in the studio is not the president, but Mr. Gafer. Please, good. Will I say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening? Whichever.
Just choose one. I'm not even with you guys, so you can choose anyone.
You're welcome. You're welcome. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm very good.
So now let's know you in proper. Who is Gafer? Please give us your full name.
My name is Sulaiman Gafer Blessing. I'm a data and policy analyst, and I work with a corporate firm, and because of the integrity of the firm, I may not be able to put that
discuss,
out.
go in details. Okay, so thank you. All right, on a quick one, permit me to say this. Adeleke is already in power and many people believe his administration has performed well. Yet, there are those who believe it's time for a different direction and they are throwing their weight behind AMBO. Today, we're going to be discussing matters that really matter. First off, let's say Adeleke is already in power and many people believe he's performing. Why should voters risk changing course and choose AMBO?
Well, just like you said earlier, you said many people believe that there is need to change the new government. I'm part of them. So, and I've joined the advocate since the commencement of this government. How? Some of us believe that this guy might not perform very well, but our expectation was that, well, the tourism and entertainment and every other one, like you have a background.
Yeah.
I have a background. You understand? Many people do have a background. But unfortunately, the person we are voting in at that moment doesn't have any background. You can't, as a person, you must have done your research. He doesn't have anything he has done in his life. You understand? Some of them said he has done a lot, work in different firms and companies. But we check. There was a day I took my time, I paid CAC to fact check some of the places he said he had worked. Some people said he was a director somewhere. I checked, but there is nothing of such. Anybody can do that. You understand? So I believe is that, well, because of the background, his brother, and for the fact that he has an uncle, Dr. Adeleke, who has thrived excellently well in his private business. If the governor cannot do better, we expect that probably his brother will support him with people with intellect, and people that are successful in their choosing career to run the government. Of course, people that are members of this state. But to our surprise, we now realize that we are moving from one shackle to another. We were unable to break it up to today when you look at it. So, of course, when you look at the government doesn't thrive in isolation. Government thrives where your infrastructure is matching policy and when your policy is matching the infrastructure. If you cannot match the two together, then you are a failure. Because you can't tell me that. I'll give an instance. While Oyetola was in government, I'm from Ejigbo local government. I didn't stay in Osogbo, but I do come to Osogbo. I have friends here. But I cannot connect to Osogbo before the administration of Oyetola. From Ejigbo, you can't connect. It is either you come from Oko, that is Oyo State, to Ifon, then to Osogbo. Or you come from Ejigbo, Inisha, Iragberi, then to Ede, to Oshobo. It becomes so difficult. So when the new government came on board, which was a Tolas government, then the first thing he did was to reconstruct that road for people that are walking. Because Ejigbo is just 30 minutes to Oshobo. Anybody can be walking in Oshobo and stay in Ejigbo.
Yeah.
Looking at what we are facing today, the reality of housing in Oshobo, you understand? So he fixed that. That solves people's problem. So if what you are doing cannot solve people's problem, then you are not doing anything, because the government, you are not there for yourself. You are there for people, to solve people's problem. So if the infrastructure doesn't match your policy, I cannot even talk about policy here, because this present government, there has never been a policy that has been put in place. They will wake up today, their opposition will criticize them. When they were criticized, then they will jump to the streets to start running with whatever the opposition asks them to do that they have not done. And that is why you will see the mismatch in the infrastructure. That is why they will tell you that they want to be constructing 21 kilometers of roads from anywhere to Ede, constructing 21, when people from Ife North, they could not access their farm. What is the prosperity agenda of Osun State if there is no agriculture? Then we are just playing. Look at where we are. What is thriving in Oshobo today? Take Oshobo out of Osun State. There is no that way that is thriving. Go to Ejigbo. Go to Ifelodun local government. We have 30 local governments in Osun State. Today, as we are talking, I have taught that local government twice. Presently, that AMBO is contesting, I have taught another 22 local governments. Go to all those places. Go to Okela in Ifedayo. You rarely see anything that this government has done for them in the last 3.5 years, almost 4. So when I heard people saying this government must continue, my fear is, why do we think government must just continue? Is it because it can dance? Is it because you love David, who is a singer? Is it because you feel like the slavery must continue? Because the chain of slavery, a lot of people doesn't believe in breaking those shackles. But some of us have seen that. Look, even if it is not AMBO, I will also support another person against this person. The backdrop is just that this guy does not have the intellect to run a state befitting of intellect and intellectuals we have in Osun today.
All right. Let's go this way. Many supporters of the current administration point to project that has been done by the current governor, an achievement. So what do you think AMBO can do better for the people of Osun State?
So for those people that believe that this present government, they have done something, yes, I can't blame them, because sometimes when you look at, I'm sorry to say, people that are physically impaired, if anybody have been to SPED, there's something that we call Braille. If you look at Braille, if you are not a teacher of physically impaired people, you cannot understand how Braille looks like and what they are using it to communicate. So it is also difficult for them to understand that the projects, the infrastructure, or whatever performance that they have put out, for the present government has not matched the reality of what we are facing today. This present government, just tell me, the last administration, we have about 2 billion naira for them. as FAC. FAC, 2 billion naira, 3 billion naira. Sometimes we come back to this state. FAC return to this state as deficit. Yes, because we have legacy debt. You understand? However, this current administration, the least they've gotten for so far now is around 11 billion, 14 billion every month. Put it on paper and put the project, do the cost evaluation of those projects. You realize that they have not done anything, even to have a conversation that they want to start another 4 years campaign. However, for AMBO, he has something that he called prosperity agenda. So the prosperity agenda is about job creation, is about expansion of infrastructure, is about urban renewal, is about agriculture. I'm sorry, I'll be mentioning agriculture,
No, you can.
because I'm a farmer by birth. So I understand what farmers go through in this kind of state. You have your seedling, you have your work, and unfortunately, there is no buyer. You understand? So for that, I'll be mentioning it. So when you look at it, they have prosperity that talks about education. And I can't blame this government. Today, before I came to this place, I read somewhere where they said, may God forgive the student, and I pray for the bereaved family. May God be with them. So somebody, a student of University of Osun State, died in Ifetedo today, College of Law. It was quite unfortunate that because there is no good health care, and today we have a government, last administration, we have a government that said we are going to work on 9 federal medical centers to support the local healthcare operations. But unfortunately, yeah, they did. But this present government abandoned every of those facilities. Now, so if medical center in Ifetedo today, in that school, cannot take care of the need of the student, they should be able to move them to surrounding hospitals. But unfortunately, there is nothing that can support such. So if anybody is sick today from Ifetedo and they cannot attend to you in their local hospital, they have to move you to Ife. And from Ifetedo to Ife, you are meeting about 45 to 1 hour journey. If you look at that road. So for AMBO, we are looking at healthcare sector, where people can access good healthcare. You can't tell me that you are doing OIS, health insurance scheme. The progressive government in Osun started it. They put up a plan, a framework. But this current government, they just came on board and said, yes, there is health insurance scheme. They sent everybody away. The consultants that are working with them, everybody was sent away. They recruited new set of people. Those one does not understand the framework. So all they ask people is, don't worry, you are covered under OIS. But what are you covered under? To go to hospital and access good health care. You can't. Go to healthcare, go to Asubia Road that were well renovated today. Everywhere are well bushy. But look at AMBO. He has a wife who is a medical doctor. A medical doctor who understands the need of the people. He cannot afford people to lack the necessary health care.
Hold on, let me come in this way. It's easier said than done. So many people say it's easier to criticize from the outside than to govern. What specific areas do you think the sitting governor, in person of Adeleke, has failed the people of Osun State?
Of course, we are not talking from, I'm not even talking from angle of criticism alone. We want to talk about performance. There is what we call policy and program that have direct impact on people. You are here. We are running on generator. The federal government today, they've passed a bill that said the state can generate their electricity. The present government in the state, the uncle of the governor, is also part of the people that are generating electricity for the country, the Gencos. Ask us today, check online today. The company that will be generating electricity was put in Ondo. We have a Wala Dam here in Osun that can generate electricity for us because the federal government said, yes, you can generate your electricity now and provide for your people. We are running on generator. Do you know how much it costs you guys every day, to run a program just with generator? So they failed on every aspect. I've mentioned healthcare quite a number ago, and I told you that somebody died, a student died because he could not access good healthcare. So how many should we count? During the last administration, we have a policy for youth after the NSAS. They called many youth, students, artisans who are young guys to put up a policy. Where are those policies today? What are they using to support even this kind of industry that you put up here? Nothing. Look at the entertainment, nothing. So just tell me, look at the education sector. I saw a video where they were removing plaques, commissioning plaques of former governor from healthcare center and replacing it with the government owned, this present government owned. I went to the primary healthcare center because I like to confirm before I said some stuff. So when I went there, this particular one, if you go to Eripa, you will see what I'm saying there. People can show you. If you go to Eripa today, you see it. Then you go to that hospital, there is nothing there. One of the head of this present governor, they call that guy Duke. He was injured somewhere around this town. Then he went to one hospital and he took a picture. If you saw that picture, the picture of that hospital, you will ask him, are you working with a governor who cares about your own life, your family lives? Because if you can go to your town as an head of the governor and you want to access hospital, but unfortunately, that place looks like where they are rearing animal, an hospital for that matter. So that is the kind of situation we have found ourselves. So if you are asking me whether it is the critics, we are not talking about criticizing anybody now. We want to be talking from performance-based. AMBO has worked in this state before. I don't know whether you know.
Yeah,
he has served. He has served at Osiko. And he moved Osiko's IGR. He's a finance guy. He moved Osiko from 300 million naira a year to 6 billion naira. So we are at the crossroad where we ask ourselves, the resources that is coming to state now, how are we going to manage it? Because this is what we call boom period. Anything can happen. Yes, we are talking of removal of oil subsidy. That was why we are having all this money. Floating of foreign exchange. That's why we are having all this money. But we should remember that a time is coming where we are going to have fall. This is our boom period. You are having 11 billion. Remember, we have a government in this state before where they have 6 billion, 7 billion. I'll mention Rauf Aregbesola. It started a lot of projects. When there is fall in oil price globally, then the state entered crisis. So if there is fall today, how will this state manage? So the future of these states, lies on the decision we want to make in August 15. And for that, we must look at the new manager who has done it before. He was also a commissioner for finance. He has his record out there. He moved the IGR of this state. Once he moved the IGR of Osiko, Osun Company alone from 300 million a year to 6 billion naira. The records are there. He moves the IGR of the state from 4 to 6 billion to 20 billion naira a year before the progressive governance left Osun. Go and check. This is our boom period. The government is not doing anything on IGR. I expect many investment because of the uncle of the governor and the impact of such. We've not seen any. I have seen my governor travel to a country to meet some investor, and my governor struggled to read papers, what they wrote for him. It was that bad. So if I'm an investor and I'm coming to your state and the leader of that state, cannot articulate his thoughts about protecting the interest of the business that is coming to the state, do you think I'll come? I won't. So we have a lot of things to do. So, but the future of this, the question before Osun people is very simple. Are we cool with what we have today? After 4 years, or when there is time for us to decide again, are we cool with what this government has done? And of course, the question will now be specific. In Ejigbo, are you cool with this present government? Maybe they have done something for you that you are cool with. In Ikire, are you cool with them? Ifelodo and every other, local government. Because some of us, because we stay in Osogbo, we believe so much that, yes, this government have done so well. That is what people, that's the projection. But unfortunately, somebody who is from Ifetedo Igego in Ifewara area of Ilesha, that person does not need to enter Osogbo before that person will go to his town. Go and look at the road to Igego. Go and look at all the mining sites around that Ijesha land. Every houses, people are living under threat. The illegal miners were there. Nobody is talking about it. I have challenged the person, a professor who is in charge of the state mineral resources, about a month ago. And I dragged him to Guardian newspaper that they have messed this state up. I went to mining cadastral's office where there are informations about what is going on in mining sector. I feel sorry for this state. If you go to Ifewara, we have about 119 unit cadastral unit of gold. Go there. It has been sold. So these are the kind of environment we find ourselves today.
Okay, let's move on. Looking at the young people, let's say young people are becoming more politically aware. Why should the average young voter trust AMBO with their future at this time?
Young voters are looking for new opportunities. Young voters are looking for job creations. Young voters are looking for skills development. Young voters are looking for access to finance. Young voters are looking for somebody who understands their aspirations and somebody who has been in their shoe. This government has never been in their shoe. They've not felt the pulse of ordinary Nigerian and ordinary citizen of this state. They are from a very rich home. This governor, most importantly, somebody who is 60 years old before he did WAEC, almost 59 years when he did this WAEC, that person, how proper that person must have been prepped for a whole of his life and believe so much that he can access virtually everything. So, but for me, for young people who strive to get a lot of things done in this environment, they are looking for skills development. They are looking for, if you are doing business, they are looking for access to finance. They want somebody who understands their aspiration. So definitely, if I am, and just like every other person, as a young mind, of course, they will choose whoever that they believe that fits the roles of their needs.
Okay.
And I believe so much that AMBO fits that pipe.
Okay, let's say critics say every politician promises change during campaign. What makes AMBO different from others who have made similar promises and couldn't keep to it?
AMBO is a doer. I have mentioned it. He just left Newa under 1.5 years that he stayed in Newa. That office, that agency has been created for more than 20 years. We have 26 waterway in Nigeria. NIWA is National Inland Waterway Authorities. So they were in charge of water transportation in the country. So today we have 26 waterways. And for about 20 years that they've created that agency, they don't have water transportation code. That is the ethic of moving on water. He put it up under 2 years. And we have new water transportation code. There is something called IUIU, illegal fishery on our waterways in Nigeria. It goes beyond moving on Osun water. You understand? When we talk about waterways. So this guy come up and said, look, all of you guys that are fishing on our water, the English, not the local fish that we are seeing here. So they said, no, look, you have to be doing this if you want to continue to do all this. He said, our people are having too much of accident on waterway because they were not highly regulated. What do they need? They need waterproof. If you are going on water, there is need for you to have a waterproof. Okay, we'll provide for you. He provided about 20,000 of it for people that are transporting on waterways. He reduced the accident rates of waterway. It is online. It is there. About 75% in less than 2 years. That is what he did. So he is a doer. He has worked in our finance sector before. He moved things. But the problem we have today is that we thrive on propaganda. We thrive on dance. Like my friend said, he called some teachers about last week that he wants to ask them questions about what do they need and how their welfare should be taken care of. We have about 4 teachers in Osun State that show up. This is all political program. It's just basically if government are not doing it right, can we ask you guys what you want government to do for you and push it to the government that, Mr. Governor, the teachers in these schools, this is how they think the schools should be managed for betterment of the student and, of course, for the welfare of the teachers. But unfortunately, we have just 2 teachers at the event that was publicized for more than 2 months. So the question to ask ourselves, now, just imagine it is a dance program. You know how many people that will show up? So that's where we are.
Okay, so let's move on. What would you say to someone who believes Adeleke deserves a second term simply because he has already started some project that we can see at the moment?
Government is continual. And it is my belief that as much as it is for Osun, whatever things that they believe that Adeleke has done for our people, I want to tell you that AMBO is going to do better than that. Because I'm a Yoruba guy, and they will say to you that ẹni tí ò bá ní irú ẹni kò lè mọyì ẹni. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ ètò ẹ̀kọ́ pé is not good enough in this administration. It's because governor ò ní ẹ̀kọ́ tó yanrantí. Somebody like you went to university, you understand the need of the university student. Or somebody who has not been in that shoe cannot understand it. That is a failure. AMBO has a wife who is a medical professional, a practicing medical doctor. That woman cannot allow the husband to fail. So, all depend lórí pé who is this person? Can this person fit into this thing? So whatever that anybody felt this present government, they've done better, AMBO is going to do excellently well on it. You can go through what we have in Okefia today. That bridge, if you are not a good driver, can you ply that road? That's the essence. But when they said we are going to have 6 span, but unfortunately they have 8 span long, then 4 span in. That is why we have that bridge tiny. It borders on who is the commissioner for work in this state? The governor. Somebody who got the criminology certificate in 24 days. We have to look at those things. It borders on ethics, thinking, then strategy. Who are those people that are thinking for you? If you have somebody like our commissioner for information thinking for you today, it's a problem. If you have your family, the few of your family, that is the broad reason why you are thinking. What do you think Davido will ask his brother to do for the people? So it is going to be a diverse because they have not been in that shoe.
All right, let's move on. Let's be honest. Every candidate has a weakness. That is certain. Adeleke has his own weakness. The former governor himself has his own weakness. The former governor before Oyetola also had his weakness. Now, in all honesty, what would you say is AMBO's biggest challenge going into this election at the moment?
He's not a propagandist. Adenbin is a propagandist. I would have said other things, but his biggest challenge is that he's not a propagandist. If he has been a propagandist, even the prosperity agenda that I mentioned that he has been pushing around for people, people will have turned into another thing and started lying. But because he does not want to be like this present government who lies, who thrive on lies and propaganda, and the influence of occultic people who follows David around, the court's fan base. That's anything that happens that you want to talk about David or his family, then they start abusing you. That's has been AMBO's major weakness to me.
Okay. If you had just 60 seconds in front of every voter in Osun State, why should they vote for AMBO instead of Adeleke?
The future of Osun is not something that will be put on theatricals. It should not be something that theater and art students should be using to act a play. It shouldn't be anything that we will take to laboratory and we'll be trying to experiment it. We have experimented this present failure. And the prosperity agenda is about the future of Osun. And Osun is going to be better with AMBO and the prosperity government.
Okay, thank you. On a final note, if AMBO, by chance,
Emerge.
let me take my question.
Because that's the only thing I want to hear.
I know, but let me take my questions.
Go ahead.
If AMBO, by chance, loses this election, what do you think would be the reason?
If he loses this election, what will be the reason?
Yeah.
Voters decide on who they want to vote after every campaign. And we will not take out the new dimensions of violence, spate of attacks that somebody like him has never been in that shoe before. Except in 2007, I have never experienced this kind of spate of attack. But unfortunately, we saw the sign in 2022. We didn't know it is going to be more than this in 2026. So I expect that after they have emerged, they will learn that peace, unity is the only way to govern a state successfully. Unfortunately, today, people were attacked. I followed AMBO to Ifetedo. We were attacked on our way back to Osogbo. So somebody like me, I have fear and I love my life. So I decided that I'm not going to follow these people to any consultation again. I don't want to die. So somebody like me and many others outside there, they feel like, yeah, I don't want to die. They may stay at home. They killed some people on election day in 2022. Somebody like me, I will not do that. I have a family, I have a life outside politics that I want to enjoy. So if violence continues like this, there will be voter apathy and everybody will stay off.
All right. I think at this point, I'd like to say thank you for being on this.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I also commend RK's records.
Yeah.
You are doing a wonderful job, and I hope our people will continue to show up to uplift a platform like this. And I also urge you guys to also please lift lifestyle conversation too in Osun, so that some of us, when he said we should come to that, I said, okay, fine. I want to look at it all looks like. I love the questions, the composition, and the team spirit.
Thank you.
I hope other people too can start coming to show up and to show love for the team. Thank you very much
for joining.
You're welcome.
All right, we won't take in more than that on today's podcast, Free Flow, brought to you by RK Records. I'll see you in our next episode. Please do well to subscribe to our social media platforms, and we'll see you. Comment, share, and tell somebody to tell somebody. Just say, have a good day.